This is macOS Ken.
Positive notes on Apple hardware, untangling the private relay problem, and nods for some Apple TV Plus actors. It is Thursday, the 13th of January, 2022. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from macOS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by SimpliSafe. Get 20% off your security system at simplysafe.com/macOSKen. This show is also sponsored by BetterHelp, online counseling that's there for you. Talking to a therapist doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. You get your car serviced to keep it from breaking down. You mow the lawn to keep it from going to seed. You get checkups to make sure you stay healthy. Talking to a therapist can be like all of that. Routine maintenance for your mental and emotional wellness to prevent bigger issues down the road. That's what BetterHelp is. It is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist. Whatever's most comfortable for you. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Why invest in everything else but not your mind? As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting today's sponsor at betterhelp.com/macOSKen. That's HELP, betterhelp.com/macOSKen. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that is BetterHelp, HELP, betterhelp.com/macOSKen. And thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's show. Lots of good tidings for Apple from analysts on Wednesday, largely tied to iPhone. Investors Business Daily had word of a few comments from analysts, starting with Raymond James analyst Chris Casso. According to Mr. C, checks of the iPhone 13 supply chain indicate that production bottlenecks have now been solved. Specifically, Apple's apparently getting plenty of camera modules and power components that had limited supply. The analyst says he and his think constraints started easing early last month, likely providing Apple with more supply than expected, and therefore providing an upward bias to December quarter estimates. News of supply chain improvements bode well for the current quarter in Casso's estimation. iPhone sales usually get a boost from Chinese New Year. Now it seems there will be enough to go around. Casso has an outperform rating on Apple shares. TipRanks puts his price target on the shares at $185. Loop Capital Markets analyst John Donovan is liking what he's seeing in terms of iPhone's average selling price. Folks are flocking to Pro models and models with more storage in his estimation. Both of those factors drive up iPhone's cost, and he thinks other analysts and investors are missing that. The way he sees it, everyone else is off by about 10%. Consensus has iPhone ASP coming in at $817, while Donovan and company think the actual ASP is closer to $900. Loop Capital has a buy rating on Apple shares. The firm's price target on the shares is a sort of soggy $165. In a note to investors seen by Apple Insider, Goldman Sachs analyst Rod Hall agrees with Casso and Donovan on iPhone availability, though not on Apple sentiment. That Apple Insider piece has Rowdy eyeing availability of both the iPhone and Apple's latest MacBook Pros. First on the phone, Hall sees lead times for the iPhone 13 line at 1 to 2 days across most regions, with the iPhone 13 Pro Max a notable exception. Here in the States, would-be buyers are still looking at a 4-day wait for that one, while the wait is 3 days on other parts of the planet. The report says that is likely because of the model's popularity. Moving to the Mac, Apple's M1 Pro and M1 Max machines are still playing hard to get. The piece has Hall indicating that at a global average, lead times for the 14-inch model stand at 25 days an increase of 6 days. For the 16-inch MacBook Pro, lead times expanded by a day to 20 days. Sound, as all of that sounds, Hall's still not feeling it. He's got a neutral rating on Apple shares and a price target of $142. Apple shares closed Wednesday at $175.50. Growth for Mac beat the tar out of growth for the wider PC industry for the end of 2021 and for the year as a whole. So say numbers from a couple of market trackers. First up, IDC. That firm had Mac shipments up 8.5% last quarter versus the same quarter a year earlier. That is way better than the 1% growth seen by the whole category, though that comparison's a bit squishy. Both Dell and Asus beat Apple's growth according to IDC. The category was actually dragged down by Lenovo, HP, and Acer, each of which saw sales decline. Pulling back for the full year, Apple looks to have done much better. A piece from Cult of Mac on IDC numbers for the whole year shows Mac shipments growing 22% last year versus the year before. That is the highest annual growth rate of any computer maker, according to the firm. The market as a whole saw shipments grow just under 15% last year, according to IDC. Writing up numbers from IDC competitor Canalys, Engadget says 2021 was a very good year for the PC market. If so, it was twice as good for the Mac. According to Canalys, PC shipments grew 14.6% from 2020 to 2021. For the same period, Mac sales grew 28.3%. Fun fact about me. I like technology. Still, there are some new numbers from mobile analytics firm App Annie that kind of freak me out. CNET wrote up some of the App Annie stats for last year. In the top 10 markets, says the piece, the average time spent on mobile devices was 4.8 hours a day in 2021, an increase of 30% from 2019. In the U.S., consumer spending on mobile games was $27.3 billion last year. That is up from less than $6 billion in 2020. In these socially distancing days, spending on dating apps passed $4.2 billion worldwide. That is up 52% from pre-pandemic 2019. 70% of our time on mobiles was spent on a social media or photo or video app, according to the report. Consumers logged a record 3.8 trillion hours on their mobiles in 2021 and downloaded more than 23 billion apps, spending $170 billion, an increase of nearly 20% from the year before. And here is the one that really freaked me out. The piece says the average American spent 4.1 hours a day on mobile devices in 2021, but watched only 3.1 hours of TV. That is 7.2 hours out of 24. No way Apple's anticipated mixed reality headset will be for bursts of communication. More news in a moment, but first a word from SimpliSafe, the right way to protect your home. If you've ever wanted to make your home feel safer, now is an excellent time thanks to SimpliSafe's New Year's holiday deals for macOS Ken listeners. You can take 20% off their award-winning home security and get your first month free when you sign up for their interactive monitoring service. I like SimpliSafe because it has everything you need to make your home safe. Indoor and outdoor cameras, comprehensive sensors, all monitored around the clock by trained professionals who send help the moment you need it. Now, just because they've got it all doesn't mean you have to get it all. SimpliSafe lets you easily customize a system for your home online in minutes, so you get just what you need to keep your home safe. And setup is simple. I had my sensors, base station, and keypad up and running in under an hour. If you've been thinking about SimpliSafe, now is the time. Hurry. Take 20% off your SimpliSafe system, and your first month is free when you sign up for the interactive monitoring service. Visit simplisafecom/macOSKen. SIMPLI. Again, that is simplisafecom/macOSKen for 20% off your entire system. The private relay problem between T-Mobile USA, Apple, and customers of both may not be as sinister as originally thought. Giving this the quickest of recaps, earlier this week, 9 to 5 Mac ran a piece that said T-Mobile Sprint had shut down or was in the process of shutting down the private relay feature for its customers in the U.S. That day, T-Mobile said the only people unable to use private relay were people who had set up some sort of filtering service through the carrier. Then the next day, T-Mobile said, actually, it turns out there's a bug in iOS 15.2 that is turning private relay off. Guess who was not happy about that? Mac Rumors ran a piece Wednesday that had Apple saying there was no bug introduced in iOS 15.2. At the same time, Apple sort of came to T-Mobile's defense. In a statement to Mac Rumors, the Cupertino company said, iCloud Private Relay is an innovative internet privacy service that allows users with an iCloud Plus subscription to connect to the internet and browse with Safari in a more secure and private way. We have rolled Private Relay out in beta, and it's available in most countries around the world. No carrier partners have blocked their users from taking advantage of Private Relay. That would be the defending T-Mobile part. As for defending itself, Apple went on to say no changes were made to iCloud Private Relay in iOS 15.2 that would have toggled the feature off. Users are encouraged to check their settings to see if Private Relay is enabled on their device or for a specific network. T-Mobile, by the way, sort of backed off its 15.2 bug talk. Apple Insider had the Un-carrier issuing a statement on Wednesday saying, Apple doesn't change customer settings when they update to iOS 15.2. Customers may see an error message if they previously toggled iCloud Private Relay or limit IP address tracking off in their cellular data option settings. Apple's talk of a specific network and T-Mobile's mention of a limit IP address tracking gets us closer to what's actually been going on. It turns out users who want to enable Private Relay have to enable limit IP address tracking as well. That one's buried in cellular data options under cellular in settings on an iPhone or, I assume, a cellular-enabled iPad. If you'd like to hear a bit more about this week's back and forth and the seemingly temporary solution, that is one of the topics on this week's edition of The Checklist, brought to you by Secure Mac. You're looking for checklist number 262, General Mayhem and Private Relay. That is checklist number 262, available where you get podcasts. News of a security update tied to HomeKit. Cult of Mac ran a piece Wednesday saying that Apple had released iOS 15.2.1 for iPhone and iPod Touch, along with iPadOS 15.2.1 for iPad. Because it's an iPadOS. Listed features are few and small. According to Apple's release notes, the updates contain bug fixes, including fixing one where messages may not load photos sent using an iCloud link, and third-party CarPlay apps may not respond to input. There's more under the hood, though. According to the cult, the security notes say that the update also takes care of a bug in which processing a maliciously crafted HomeKit accessory name may cause a denial of service. Give a smart home gadget a super long name, and iPhones and iPads that connect to it can be rendered completely unresponsive. free and easy. The updates are available through settings on iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Ran it on my iPhone and had absolutely no trouble. Please go and do likewise. Progress progresses on future OSs. iDownload blog ran a piece Wednesday saying that the third betas of iOS 15.3, iPadOS 15.3, watchOS 8.4, and tvOS 15.3 were out to developers. Don't be surprised if they turn up for Apple public testers today. If you're wondering where the love is for the next macOS update, it is not late. I am. On Tuesday, Mac Rumors ran a report saying that the second beta of macOS Monterey 12.2 was out to developers. By Wednesday, that piece had been updated to say that it was also out to the public testing crew. And finally today, the endless award season continues. Continuing is what endless things do. Apple issued a press release Wednesday announcing the Cupertino streamers' 12 Screen Actors Guild, or SAG Award nominations. Not on the list, Tom Hanks. On the list, Ted Lasso. Dedicated exclusively to performers, the website for the awards says 13 are presented for the outstanding performances of the year in film and television. The awards focus on both individual performances as well as on the work of the entire ensemble of a drama series and comedy series and the cast of a motion picture. Apple Productions garnered 3 nominations in the film category, 9 for TV, all divided among 4 titles. On the film side, Coda picked up 2 nominations, one for Outstanding Performance by a Cast and one for Troy Kotsur for Male Actor in a Supporting Role. The third film nomination went to Denzel Washington, Male Actor in a Leading Role for The Tragedy of Macbeth, which, oh my goodness, I just remembered, starts today on Apple TV+. You're excited. On the TV side, The Morning Show picked up 4 of Apple's 9 nominations. Outstanding Performance by an Ensemble in a Drama Series, Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Drama Series, Billy Crudup, and Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Drama Series, one to Jennifer Aniston and another to Reese Witherspoon. And do I need to tell you which series picked up the other 5 TV nominations? Do I really? The other 5 nominations went to Ted Lasso. Jason Sudeikis and Brett Goldstein will have to fight it out for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor in a Comedy Series. Hannah Waddingham and Juno Temple will do the same for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Comedy Series. Meanwhile, the whole cast can gang up on everybody else since they were nominated for Outstanding Performance by an Ensemble in a Comedy Series. This year's Screen Actors Guild Awards are set for Sunday, the 27th of February. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by BetterHelp, online counseling that's there for you. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/macOSCan. This show is also sponsored by SimpliSafe. Get 20% off your new home security system at simplysafe.com/macOSCan. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Cha.